All new at 11 o'clock, Better Call Harry brings you an all-new story about how a medical emergency can turn into a financial emergency.
A 42-mile helicopter ride that saved a boy's life left his family with a bill they fear they can never pay off.
Almost a year to the day, Luca Diamante is healthy.
Oh, I like that.
He's happy. He's alive. The 8-year-old is autistic. Communicating is a challenge, but on January 21st, 2018, he didn't have to. When he spiked a fever, his grandmother drove him to a Gainesville urgent care.
And on the way to the urgent care, I could hear what's called the death rattle from the back seat. And I looked back there and he was slumped over, unconscious, with little white bubbles coming out of his mouth.
Luca's heart stopped, and no one knew at the time that he had contracted a coronavirus, similar to SARS. Luca ended up at Northeast Georgia Medical Center. Doctors got his heart beating while staff called for an air ambulance to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Air Methods has built its reputation on
Air Methods, one of the nation's largest air ambulance providers, answered the call.
To watch a helicopter take off with your boy in it, and you're not sure if you'll ever see him again, was the hardest thing I think I've ever lived through.
The hospital-to-hospital flight from Northeast Georgia Medical Center to Children's Healthcare was 42 miles. Luca's grandmother credits the Air Methods team for saving her grandson.
I am grateful for that service.
But the service isn't cheap. $52,493, a $34,000 base, $18,400 for miles. Air Methods says the claim was denied, but eventually Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia and Medicaid paid out $18,000.
Hi, good morning. I was trying to get in contact with the parent or guardian of Luca Diamante.
Luca's grandparents say Air Methods patient advocates call daily. The patient balance, $34,000.
They want you to plead with your insurance company to give them more money, or they're coming after you.
Yes. Here.
In a detailed statement, Air Methods sympathized with the family, but blasted the insurance industry, saying 7 out of 10 reimbursements do not cover the cost of the flight. The inequity that is talked about is due to Medicare's low reimbursement rates, which exert a trickle-down economic effect. It goes on to say the consequences of this imbalance are dramatic. Luca and his grandparents paint a different picture.
You're a sweet boy.
Days before Luca collapsed, his grandfather had a stroke, and 10 days after Luca's release, his grandmother went into the hospital for pneumonia. If they have to pay the $34,000 remaining balance, it will have to be on a hairdresser's salary.
If we had to pay that back, it would probably take the rest of my life paying a reasonable payment.
Air Methods says it oftentimes requires the assistance of families to get the best possible resolution. We say that's what your patient advocates are for. Even the advocacy group Georgia Watch says these families are desperate and should never be put in the middle. I'm Better Call Harry. Tell me your story at bettercallharry@cbs46.com.